Hi, it's Simon here from Food Rocks, introducing a new feature for the virtual Big Nibble. It's our Horsham Market's Dish of the Month, using produce from the market, your local larder.
And we've got some monk here from the Wild Fish Project.
Dry cured smoked streaky bacon, bangers galore.
Jill, green greens, courgette.
Mayfield, Gee-Whiz Kitchen.
Okay, this is a black garlic mustard made with fresh garlic, matured for about 14 days in the jar, and it produces a wonderful, fresh tasting mustard.
Sea salt and rosemary sourdough, Flint Ale.
Large free-range eggs, Colloy Farm.
This month I'm going to be cooking the dish myself, but in future months we're going to have the traders, street food traders and the local producers giving you their own dish with local seasonal ingredients. I've got some beautiful monkfish fillets from the Wild Fish Project, smoked streaky bacon from Bangers Galore. We've got some organic sage, courgette and lemon from Greener Greens. Mayfield cheese from Allsop and Walker, sold by Gee-Whiz at the market. Some breadcrumbs made with rosemary bread from Flint Ale. We've decanted some olive oil, virgin olive oil from Panino's. And we've got Colloy Farm eggs, free-range eggs. So firstly, we're going to prepare the fish, starting by laying the bacon down to create a rolling mat and put the monkfish on, bit of sage, bit of salt, pepper, and wrap it up tight to form a parcel. So here it is, monkfish wrapped in the bacon. Pop that on a baking tray and put into a preheated oven at 200 for about 20 minutes until the bacon crisps up and form a nice cage around the monkfish. Okay, now onto the courgette salad. This is going to be a lovely browned bit of courgette that we're going to cook in some olive oil and cool. I'm going to slice it long ways, get some nice thin slices. There we go, they're thinly sliced, about 3 or 4 millimetres. Because they're quite thin, no need to steam them. We're just going to go straight into some olive oil and brown them up. So here's the courgettes frying. Keep turning them, we're looking for a nice even browning on both sides. And once they're done, take them off the heat, drain them on a bit of kitchen paper, and then we're going to cool them down in the fridge. Right, so now it's onto the souffle. If you get your souffle dish or ramekin, butter that generously, and then we're going to spread our breadcrumbs throughout the bottom of the dish to make sure all the butter's covered. So now we need to make our cheese sauce for the souffle. We start off by making a roux with the melted butter in a pan and adding the flour and just whisking that. Keep it on a medium heat until we get a nice even roux. So here's the roux. It's been cooking for a few minutes now on a medium heat. You want to make sure it doesn't taste too floury by keep cooking it, keep whisking it. I've also added a spoonful of Bartie's mustard into that. And now we're going to slowly add some milk and form a bechamel. So keep adding the milk a little bit at a time. Keep whisking it through. Cook it for 3, 4, 5 minutes. And then we're going to transfer that to a bowl to cool and move on to the next stage, which involves the Colloy Farm eggs. So crack and separate the eggs. We're going to add the yolks into the cheese sauce now and just stir them in, and we're going to whisk the whites until they reach stiff peaks, and eventually going to add those into the cheese sauce at the last minute, whisking them in a figure of 8. So we're doing this by hand. We haven't got an electric whisk, but we're getting there. We're nearly at those stiff peak stage. So once the egg whites have been folded into the souffle mix, I'm just going to spoon them into the ramekins, and we're going to put those into the oven for about 30 minutes. With a palette knife, just run it round the top to create a little top hat so it doesn't stick. So whilst the monkfish and the souffle is cooking, we're going to make a dressing for the courgette salad. Good glug of olive oil, squeeze a lemon, spoonful of Bartie's black garlic mustard, add a bit of salt and pepper to taste, whisk that together, and then at the last minute we're going to dress the courgettes with that, a few slithers of Mayfield cheese, and some shallow fried crispy sage leaves, which we're just going to pop into a hot pan and flip over till they're crispy, and then they're ready to serve. So here's the finished dish. We have bacon wrapped monkfish, with a Mayfield cheese souffle and a courgette salad served with a bit of sage and some Mayfield cheese and a delicious dressing made with Bartie's black garlic mustard. Now we're going to go over to Luke at Horsham Cellar for a wine pairing.
Hi, so I'm Luke from the Horsham Cellar, and I've got a delicious wine to match with the dish. I've chosen a classic white Burgundy from a slightly unusual village called Souffle, down in the Mackinac in the south of Burgundy. 100% Chardonnay, bit of barrel fermentation, and it's perfect with all the different elements of the dish. The slight fruity tropicalness will go with the saltiness of the bacon. The richness of the Chardonnay will match the richness of the Monkfish, and this, as a grape variety, Chardonnay, and particularly white Burgundy, is about one of the only, if not certainly the best wine to match with cheese and egg. So that cheese souffle, which can be a tricky match, will just be perfect with this macaron souffle. Available at the Horsham Cellar for $15.99. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.